Hi and welcome to my review of Chain of Iron, the second book in the Last Hours series. The series that is just after the Infernal Devices and before the Mortal Instrument. So it's in between that time frame. I love the cover. It is so pretty, as all Cassandra Clare's books are. And all the Shadowhunter books are really just have stunning covers. So this one's really pretty. Love the book. I must admit, it did take me a while to read this. I sort of took a year because a lot was going on. I had a baby within, only just a few months ago, but I was pregnant in that time. I had a new job, so it took me a while to read this. And so my review, I had to really go over it again, the first half of the book, but the second half is more fresh to me. So yeah, I did enjoy it more towards the end. There were a lot of killings and all that going on, and that confused me of like, who is it? And that whole thing going on in the middle of the book. But yeah, I was always thinking it was going to be a Shadowhunter who did it. So we have the fake wedding between James and Cordelia, which really, it just broke my heart, to be honest, because Cordelia is clearly so in love with James, and you have him just being so blinded by it. You know, I'm so frustrated thinking, how can you not see how much she loves you? And how do you not feel the same way about her? Like, I just found that so annoying. But then you really see how he's really under that spell by Grace, so it's kind of not his fault in that way. But yeah, it's crazy how they have that fake wedding just to preserve the reputation of their families, because in the old days, you know, caught sleeping together or doing something, you know, they shouldn't be doing, it's like, oh, you have to be married. So they had this whole fake wedding, and it's just heartbreaking to see Cordelia just literally want someone and he doesn't feel the same way. And there's so many heartbreaking scenes, and even just nice moments they have in their house together where they're in separate rooms though, and like, you know, you just think, just go in the same room, go in the same bed. And those scenes where they're playing chess and everything, I love those scenes. I just picture it to be so cozy and like romantic and just so intimate. So I do like them as a couple, but I'm also really happy with how the book ended, to be honest, in their situation. I think it was really good to see Matthew swoop in and just be like, well, I have feelings for her, and you know, he's the one who's going to make her happy in a way. I think he said in the book, like, she deserves someone who loves her. And yeah, if James doesn't love her, then it's not right. It's not fair on Cordelia. Obviously, we know James is under that spell by Grace from that chain, so once it breaks, he realizes how much he actually does have feelings for her. But of course, it's too late. Obviously, it's left with that cliffhanger, which is really interesting. I loved, like, the end of the book, how Matthew's like, let's go to Paris, come with me. James hears about it, and obviously she's still married to James, so it's like he goes and chases after her. I think it's good that that happened, to be honest, because James needs to sort of learn his lesson. I know, as I said, he was under a spell, but I think it might make him really fight for Cordelia, and I think she deserves that. Now, on the other hand, we have Lucy and Grace trying to raise Jessie from the dead. Now, unpopular opinion, I love Lucy and Jessie together. I think they're great. I love them as a couple. I find them really cute from the start of the first book. Yeah, I love them together, and I really am rooting for them and hoping that they do end up together in the end, and that Jessie, I know he's a ghost, but you know, it's Shadowhunter world, so anything can happen. So I really hope they do end up together. I feel for Grace a little bit, because I just feel like there's definitely more to the story with her. I feel like she's got a history, and like their mum is quite psycho and everything, so I think that's why she is the way she is. I don't like her, but I feel like a little bit for her, and I feel there's a bit of like, yeah, stuff going on with her that we'll see more in the third book, and I feel she might even redeem herself and be a lot better of a character. So we also have James, who's going further and further into that other realm, like I think it's like the demon realm, but he's trying to find his grandfather Belial, who is basically the demon who's doing all the killings. And he's taken over Jessie's body, and there's all that stuff going on with that. And also, it's unfair for Thomas, who's always caught in the wrong place and the wrong time. And so everyone thinks it's him, which I sort of thought it was him too. I was like, okay, interesting. But it was too obvious that it was him. So yeah, but like I said, that whole storyline was a bit of a blur for me. I remember more of what's going on with Cordelia and James. I also really love that Jem, Will, and Tessa and Magnus are all in the book as well. Especially Jem is my favourite. I've mentioned it before. Love him. So basically, Cordelia and James have the help of Magnus Bane, and they go into the other realm to find Belial. they discover that, yeah, he's controlling Jesse's body. Sorry, my baby is just moving. He's awake. I'm trying to get this video done before he wakes up, and I don't know if I will. So I'm trying to rush through this. Okay, replaced book with baby. This is what you do when you're at home alone with your baby and you're trying to make a video. You put your baby in your arms and you just record with your baby. But anyway, this is Xavier, my baby boy. I love him so much. Okay, so basically Lucy helps command the demon from Jesse's body. So that's pretty cool. Lucy's pretty powerful. Obviously she has a motive behind that as well. She loves him, so would do anything to help him, obviously. As I said earlier, the ending was my favorite. So that's because that's really all about the book. Like, there's obviously a lot going on, but my main takes from them were like about those characters. I find them my favorite, and the storylines that I find the most interesting. Obviously the end, how Matthew wants to go to Paris, and then the whole train situation, how James was too late. Lucy was missing at the end, I think. Like, Will appears at the end and he's like, you can't go, your sister's missing. We have to go. So I cannot wait to see what happens in the next book. It's just like, that ending, I was like, what's going to happen? Is he going to catch her in time before she goes to Paris? And also that scene before that where Cordelia catches him and Grace, like, she thought they were in an embrace, but he's just like, you disgust me. He's obviously discovered what she's trying to do. And of course Cordelia comes in at the wrong time, and you know, we have this whole situation that we're in. So yeah, I love the book in general. Thought it was really good. The typical romance and triangles and everything. I feel for Matthew. I wonder who he's going to end up with. I really hope that he ends up with someone and he's happy, because he deserves that. Hope he didn't just vomit on me, but anyway. Yeah, I think he really deserves happiness. He deserves to be with someone who loves him. And I don't think in the end he'll end up with Cordelia. Like, maybe he will, but I don't think so. I think it's even poetry that it's Cordelia Carstairs with a Herondale. That was basically my review. I've got to go and feed my baby, so I hope you liked it. Let me know what you guys thought, what's going to happen in the next book. Stay tuned for more videos.